definitely going to try to remain in power because remember that East Wing, it's going to take a long time to build that. He is hooking up the White House because he doesn't plan on leaving it.
Well,
I don't think he plans on leaving it.
I told y'all that years ago.
Yeah,
that he had he was not going anywhere. He said it. He said, "I want to be president for life."
Yeah.
I heard him say it. I watched his lips move, and I thought, he means this.
Yeah. You know, the ironic part is, though, there were a lot of people who thought Joe Biden was too old to run. Donald Trump is already the oldest president ever elected in history. He would be 82 in 2028. We've all seen the swollen ankles. We've all seen the bruises on his hands. You know, this is a man who is showing his age and the health issues that often come along with being elderly. But look, part of the reason we're talking about this, and part of me always thinks they want to own the liberals, they want to troll us, they want to trigger us, all of those things. But that doesn't mean we don't take him seriously.
Yeah.
And part of the reason he's done crazy abuses of power is because he can. Because he's getting away with it without any pushback or oversight from Republicans. Now, I will say, I have seen some Republicans on TV who make a living sucking up to Trump daily, saying that they would be against him violating the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution, which says that it's only 2 terms. It doesn't say it has to be back to back. It says only 2 terms.
That's right.
And, you know, this is a guy who's got authoritarian envy. He goes around to these countries and he loves he wants the parades, he wants the arches, he wants the ballrooms, he wants to be an emperor, he wants to be an authoritarian. Paying no attention to the Constitution, that's the way Ortega does it, that's the way Chavez did it, that's the way Maduro does it, that's the way Putin does it.
They've just been around forever.
Right, so, I would say do not fall asleep on this. And Republicans, if you don't want every single elected Republican should be getting asked right now, would you be in favor or against Donald Trump running for a 3rd term? And if they say that, and if they don't say anything, if they don't answer, vote them out.
It honestly doesn't matter what they say, because we also heard that when President Trump, if he was elected, he would not pardon the January 6th violent offenders. And the first thing, he barely sat down in the seat and was like, yeah, get them all out. So I don't believe anyone, regardless of what they say. I tend to believe that this would be stopped even in the courts, because the spirit of it was that someone doesn't have that kind of power, whether consecutive or not. So I would hope that if it goes to the highest court, it would hold. But 80% of Americans oppose this. 80%, only 18% support it, which it's not a popular move. But I would also say it's coming up right now to look away from what's not popular for him right now, which is this shutdown. The shutdown, we're going to be talking about eventually the food well, the Epstein thing is forever the umbrella that we run from, but we've got Epstein, the shutdown. We're having air traffic controllers that are going into whatever week of not being paid. Holidays are around the corner. Every person that relies on food stamps can't eat in a few weeks. Like, all this stuff's going on. So this I do think they're trolling with the timing of the conversation. We've got a minute. We don't need to be talking about it right now, but it's more popular than what's actually going on the ground.
And can I add one thing? Because Sarah makes an important point. All 3 of the scenarios I laid out would still require him to stand for election. And so there would still be the power that the voters would have. So say if the Supreme Court ruled and he was able to be the Republican nominee for a 3rd time, there would still, I believe, be an election in this country.
What about
This is why I love y'all.
everything?
I'm not going there today.
Militarizes everything. He's sending the National Guard in. What
he is not. He's going to do what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's going to try everything he can do, and he doesn't care what we think. He's going to do this. He's going to write something and say, and he'll say, I found a loophole, and so I can do this. Not consecutive doesn't really matter. If he wants to do it and there's no opposition, he's going to do it.
Yeah.